And I welcome you back to the Debrinick channel, and today we are talking about Lake Mead. We are doing a Lake Mead update, and then we will also be talking about Lake Powell and Lake Havasu as well. Before we do that, I want to ask you to consider subscribing if you haven't already, and if so, much appreciated, and we will not take up a lot of your time tonight. Right off to Lake Powell we go, and here we are at Lake Powell, and you can see that your full pool level is 3,700 as usual, and today's date is July 20th, 2022, and on this date in 2020, the level was at 3,608.10 feet. In 2021, the level was at 3,556 feet, and today's level is 3,537.86 feet. And then we go to your power loss in inactive pool of 3,490 feet, and dead pool is at 3,370. The level is down 18.14 feet from 1 year ago. The level is down 70.24 feet from 2 years ago. The level is 47.86 feet away from power loss and inactive pool. And if you recall, once the level came really close to 30 feet back in the spring, they started holding back water from Lake Mead and also taking water from the Flaming Gorge, Blue Mesa, and Lake Navajo. So it helps increases the level at Lake Powell. Now, for whatever reasons, the inflows have really turned off, and I'm not quite sure why. I haven't looked at Flaming Gorge today as I am really strapped for time, but we'll scoot on. The level is 167.86 feet from dead pool, and now we'll check your inflows versus your outflows, and your inflows at Lake Powell are 4,407, just like I was just talking about. Those levels have really dropped off, and your outflows are 11,758. The lake has dropped 1.77 feet over the last 14 measurements, so keep that in mind, and let's go check your weather forecast out and percentage of capacity and different things. Now you can see at Lake Powell, you can see that it's really sunny there, and it's going to be sunny most of the day, and you can see that Lake Powell's water temperature is 74 degrees there at the lake, and your air temperature is currently 98 degrees there at the lake. Winds are out of the northwest at 7 to 19 miles per hour today. The lake has dropped 0.23 feet in the last 24 hours. The percentage of capacity is 25.96. Today's high is around 104. And your low is around 78. And now we head down to Lake Mead, and Lake Mead's full pool level is always 1,229 feet. On this date in 2020, the water level was 1,085.62 feet. On this date in 2021, the level was at 1,067.89 feet. Today's level is 1,041.08 feet. And then we go from your inactive pools 950, your dead pool's 895. The level is down 26.81 feet from 1 year ago. The level is down 44.54 feet from 2 years ago. The level is 91.08 feet from power loss and inactive pool, and the level is 146.08 from dead pool, so you still have 146.08 feet, and the level dropped 44.54 feet over 2 years. So to get to dead pool, I'm looking at maybe 3 years to 4 years possibly, but who knows what the weather will do. Right now it is extremely hot out there, and we're going to go to windy.com real quick, and I will show you what I'm talking about. As we roll out to windy.com, it's good to look at this map every once in a while. You can see that the temperature in Vegas is 111, Havasu's 109, St. George is 107, Page is 102. That is close to Lake Powell as you can get without being at Lake Powell. And then we scoot over to Telluride. It's a nice 62 degrees, Aspen 64, Grand Junction's 95, and rain accumulation over the next 3 days, you can see not very good. The precipitation 0.41. We go to the next 5, 1.13. So there's a little bit of precipitation forecasted in the next 5, so that's good. Let's check the GFS and see if that has changed any different. The GFS is actually showing more over here, so 1.71 there, and then down here 1.42. So you can see that it's coming through quite a bit. We come up here to the Flaming Gorge and you can see not much. We go 10 days out, and 10 days out is looking promising. So Gunnison's down here, and you can see 1.74. So if this comes to pass, which it's 10 days out, I'm not going to hold any eggs in any basket. But Gunnelson's really close to Blue Mesa there, and Montrose right here. You could possibly get more. Now, is the European model showing the same thing? Not as much, but there is quite a bit up here. They're calling for 2.3, and over here, they're calling 1.62, so who knows? And we scoot all the way out, and you can see that there is a lot of precipitation coming, especially here. So there is some monsoons possibly coming, and there's some people on here that is under the form of belief that it's only snowmelt that will make lakes rise. Well, I'm here to inform you that is just not the case. Any precipitation, anything that has to do with water will make a lake rise. Just depends on how fast it rises. Now, I know they're in extreme drought, so quite a bit of it's going to get sucked up. I'm not saying that 2 inches will cause the lake to overflow. No, that is not what I'm saying, but it will have an impact of sorts. How much? Depends on how much you get. The more you get, the quicker you get, the more water flows. Now, same in the wintertime. The more snow you get, when it melts, the more water flows into reservoirs, causing the reservoirs to rise. It's all about how much precipitation, and precipitation equals rain, equals snow, and the media has really spun this in a bad way, in my opinion, saying that it's only snow that causes the Colorado to rise. That is just not the case, because if you call back in 83, it was a combination, not only snow, but also flooding rains that caused Lake Powell and Lake Mead to reach its capacity. So just keep that in mind. It was a combination of both. It wasn't just snow. It was snow and then rain. It was a very wet year. So things can change. Some people on my comments have stated that things are getting ready to change. People that are in the know and meteorologists that says that things are getting ready to change for the positive, and who knows? That is just one person's take, not mine, so take it for what it's worth. Now let's go back to the graphs and finish it up. All right, we're going to check your inflows versus your outflows at Lake Mead, and Lake Mead's inflows are currently 10,552. Your outflows are 13,900. Lake Mead is down 1.52 feet over the last 14 measurements. Now we're going to check the weather forecast, and you can see that it is raining there today, or possibly raining is what the forecast is calling. Lake Mead's water temperature, it is currently 84 degrees, and your air temperature is a scorcher. It is 104 degrees. And we go check your winds, and your winds are southwest at 8 to 15 miles per hour today, and we check your percentage of capacity, 27.24%. Your high is going to be around 113 today, and your low is going to be around 89, and the lake has fallen 0.1 feet in the last 24 hours. So not a whole lot, but it has fallen nevertheless. And now we go check Lake Havasu's numbers, and you can see Lake Havasu's top of the spillway is 455, and then we check the full pool levels, 450. On this date in 2020, the level was 448.20 feet. On this date in 2021, the level is 448.48 feet. Today's level is 449.16 feet, and your power loss is 440 feet, and your dead pool is 400 feet, and that is dead pool. And Lake Havasu is up 0.68 feet from 1 year ago. Lake Havasu is up 0.96 feet from 2 years ago. Lake Havasu is now 9.16 feet away from power loss. And we check your outflows versus your inflows. Your inflows are currently 13,500, and your outflows are currently 11,700, and the lake is down 0.25 over the last 14 measurements. Now let's go check the weather. As you can see, it's partly sunny there at Lake Havasu, and we go check your water temperature at Lake Havasu, and it is currently 84 degrees there, and your air temperature at Lake Havasu is currently 101 degrees. It's probably hotter by now. And your winds are south at 8 to 18 miles per hour at the lake. And we check your percentage of capacity is 94.35%. And the lake is up 0.31 feet in the last 24 hours. Your high is supposed to be around 115, maybe higher, who knows. And your low is supposed to be around 89. All right, the last thing we have tonight is percentage of capacity. We're going to start at the Flaming Gorge, and you can see it's 73.57%, and then we go de Blue Mesa is 45.66%. Lake Navajo's 54.13%. Lake Powell is 25.96%. Lake Mead is 27.24%. Lake Navajo's 94.97%. And Lake Havasu's 94.35%. Thank you guys for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the show. It's kind of short, but much appreciated, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless.